Hey there, Wargamers. This is Justin the Iron Painter from Death Ray Designs, and today you guys are tuning in for my 4th episode in my video blog series, which pretty much be rambling today about the usual. So this is the first vlog that is going up live after the holidays, so I hope all you guys out there have had an amazing Christmas or holiday, whatever it was you were celebrating. I hope you had fun with friends and family. Also, if you happen to have gotten gifts from friends and family, I hope your hobby loot was awesome. I got a lot of socks and some clothes, but my sister's boyfriend did come through and picked me up a couple of Chaos Space Marine HQs. He got me 2 different warp smiths, which is interesting because at least one of them is no longer available on the GW website right now, out of stock. I don't know if Iron Warriors are getting popular. I don't follow the meta, but I lucked out. He ordered those straight from GW for me, which is pretty cool because I don't really get models for holiday gifts or birthday gifts or anything very often, so it's pretty sweet that sister's boyfriend came through and hooked me up. So thank you, sir. Kudo points. That kind of lets you guys know probably what I'm going to be working on in the near future. Got some Iron Warrior stuff that I want to do. I've actually been doing a lot of trading and eBay purchases to keep my investment as minimal as possible. It's not been as low as I would have liked it, but we've gotten, or I've gotten a whole box of things that are designed for expanding an Iron Warrior force. I don't want to go into too much depth about why I chose Iron Warriors. That will be talked about in future videos. But suffice to say, I've got a bunch of stuff. I've got some cool fluff reasons for why I'm doing what I'm doing. And let's run down a couple things I've got right now. I made some trades for some Mark III Iron Armor, pre-heresy armor for the Iron Warriors. I figured that would be the coolest possible armor set to put them in, and it looks Iron Warrior-y. So I've got 28 of them. One of the sets I traded for was missing 2, but that's okay because I ordered some Forge World bits, and I'm going to convert 8 of those bros into Havocs. I figured a unit of Havocs with autocannons for Iron Warriors seems pretty siege worthy to me, like they're going to be blowing up some buildings. So you guys will see some of that coming out soon as I build it. I've got some Rhinos, which I'm going to be doing some really cool light conversions on, so you guys will get to see that. Gonna have some Predators, also gonna have some light conversion work on those. I've got 2 additional Deimos pattern Rhinos that were given to me by Austin. He picked up, I guess, these back when the Horse Heresy Book 1, I think, came out. Him and one of the guys from Death Ray Designs, at the time Brush for Hire, was out at Adepticon when the first Horse Heresy stuff really got going. And they picked up a bunch of stuff, and then 30K just never took off here. So we were cleaning out the back room of all the spare models and stuff, and I was like, hey, what are you gonna do with these? I'm like, starting an army using pre-heresy stuff, I might use it. And he was like, and he hands me the bags, just take them. So that was about a week before Christmas, so I'm gonna consider that a little bit of a official Christmas gift. So I'll have several vehicles for the Iron Warriors. I went out to Games Workshop yesterday, which I never do. I don't make it out there because it's about an hour away. Picked up a couple books, which was really cool, but for the Iron Warriors in particular, also got to start collecting box for Chaos. Not super jazzed about the Marines inside because they're kind of meh, but I'm going to use those to make some more Havocs. I'll have an HQ out of that, and I'm super excited because there's a Hellbrute. I don't know why. I don't like a lot of the like mutated Chaosy stuff, but the Hellbrute looks so freaking awesome. And I know nothing about Chaos, so bear with me. I think there's a stratagem that lets them shoot again at the nearest target. So like rocket launcher, which looks kind of derpy, and then like maybe the Reaper autocannon I think it's got, or heavy bolter, whatever. Those shooting twice, it seems pretty good. Almost as good as the Havoc shooting their guns twice. So I got that going. I'll have 30 cultists that you guys will see at some point that aren't official cultists. They are GW models, but not normal cultists. And then I'm looking at maybe picking up the Blackstone Fortress Trader Guardsman on eBay if I can get a good price. So that'll put me at 44 cultists, so I have plenty of options for how to divvy those out, and they'll look really cool. My thought process for those is that they're going to be a ragtag group of mercenaries. That's kind of what I'm going for. I've got Perturabo. That was given to me by Wheels, Chris Oaks, Chris something? I think it's Oaks. From the Garrison, that's Wheels, if you guys hear me refer to him. He traded me that for one of my painted models, I don't know, a year ago maybe? Maybe 6 months, I don't know. But he traded me that and I was like, hell yeah, like Perturabo looks sweet. At the time, I really didn't know if I was ever gonna start Iron Warrior, so I had the Primarch before I owned any other models. He has no rules in 40K, but I'm going to be using him as a Demon Prince, which I think would be pretty cool. I've got a couple HQs, I've got a Sorcerer, some Wartsmiths obviously, and a Chaos Sword. Not sure I'm going to kit all that stuff out, but I've got them, and that would be pretty cool. So I did pick up the Codex and the data cards. It'll be a while before you guys see me play those on screen, so you're going to be seeing a lot of Dark Angels in the interim, but I do have plans for a Chaos army. And speaking of armies, I've been speaking with Austin about things we could do for procuring studio armies to play, stuff that you might not necessarily have to invest a lot of time painting, but will be painted and look reasonable on camera. I do want to get my Dark Angels and my Iron Warriors done, but if you guys want to see Xenos or other stuff, I can only paint so fast and I already paint slow. Even if I was sacrificing quality for speed, there's still only so many hours in the day, so many days in the week for the things that I do. It would be really hard to keep up. So we are looking at some options for what we can do to get some Xenos armies going. So if there's anything you think would be cool to see on camera, maybe future battle reports, tutorials or anything like that, leave us a comment below, whether you're watching this on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. Let us know what armies you would like to see. What kind of content needs some love. Like, if you want to see Dark Eldar because no one's playing with battle reports, let us know. That'll give us some ideas where to go, for example. Or if there's just stuff that you don't see a lot of or would like to see tutorials of, let us know. Those are things that we can focus on generating content for you. Personally, I'm talking with one of the guys from the Garrison about maybe if he wants to let go of his Eldar. We'll see. If he doesn't, is what it is. But if he does, and I work out a deal with him, it is an army I painted on commission, so they look pretty cool. Unfortunately, they were painted during 7th edition, so 8th edition has changed a bit. So there'll be a few things we probably need to get for that army if it comes through, but we'll see what happens. With that being said, let's go ahead and segue over for our vlog today and talk about some Dark Angel progression. What have I done with painting this week? All right, so for painting this week, I have not gotten as much done as I would like. We've gotten some work done on the bikes. We've got silver laid down, a little bit of edge highlighting. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see on the camera here the difference, but the piping on the Scout here has not been edge highlighted. The piping on the Black Knight has. So we got all the silver laid down on these bros, and I've got to get the edge highlighting done on that and finished. We've got to come in with the red for the bolters. I'm gonna put a little bit of red in his shoulder pad here, and then probably put a decal or whatever there. We've got to finish the cream colored parts, all the parchment, and then obviously like any of the weapon pouches and stuff that need to be brown, and then the actual raven wings. This heraldry stuff's got to be white. I'm gonna try and do like this gray into white transition. We'll see what happens, but got a bit to go. I'm gonna try my best to get these done quickly. Basing wise, I think we're gonna have some cracked earth similar to my Scouts with some tufts of dead grass, but I'm gonna try and do a little bit of a swish swish, if you wanna call it that, in my basing material to get some light weathering pigments across the bottom of the base here, or not base, the base of the model rather, and that'll leave a little bit of a haze or a dusty look on the miniature and make it look like it's been driving through some dusty, deserty thing. I'm not necessarily going for desert, but I'm going for like a dusty, I won't say moon type landscape, but I'm going for something where it might look like it's kind of like a ruin, but I don't want to do the standard gray ruins because these models are gray. So if I continue going with the theme I've been going with like a tannish, brownish basing, that can look like maybe the fortress that these guys were defending or that broke was a marbly cream color versus a standard like concrete color that you'd be familiar with. So we've got that stuff going. Additionally, we've got my dreadnoughts, so let's grab those. So for the dreadnoughts, I actually got a semi-compliment from Austin. He saw my wet palette when I was working on this guy, and he goes, "Did you wet blend all that?" And I was like, nah, man. If I wet blended this, I think I would be going in to enter some golden demons or something. But it was kind of a nice compliment because I don't push the shadows and contrast as well as I would like to learn and progress. And on this one, I really gave it an effort. So this is where we currently are. I've got all the highlighting essentially done on the gray. We've got to come in and do all the silver bits. Got his cream bone colored knee pad done. I have to do the red stripe across it, wash it, do all that, so he'll match my other Marines. But that's kind of his state. He's got some work to go, but not too far off. Once we get the silver and all that stuff done, I can get to weathering, or excuse me, not weathering, I can get to dropping the decals on them, and then we'll get to weathering, basing, and then call them good. It's just a matter of getting there as quickly as we can and also getting that detail in. So I think he's looking pretty sweet. And then to wrap up my dreadies, we've got our Relic Contemptor Dreadnought with our count as close combat weapon and our plasma cannon. So he's still got similar details that need to be done, you know, the red on the plasma cannon. Got to wrap up all the parchment things and bone colors. I'm super digging this silver. I don't compliment myself a lot, but for whatever reason, I'm just loving how it turned out. Like the sheen, the luster, when you turn it in the light, it looks so good. Like it's super cool, right? And these are scale 75 silver, or not scale 75, rather these are actually Army Painter silvers, my bad. So I used gunmetal, plate mail, and shining silver, I think. So those look good. I'm thinking about doing on his knee pad, checker pattern, and then like a red portion, similar to some of the Dark Angels iconography you can see. Similar things maybe on his little shield there. He's got a shield down here we'll do something with, but he's got, he's obviously a little bit further along than the Dreadnought, the Leviathan, because you can see I've actually done a lot more of the silver work. So he's got a ways to go, but I am digging him. I think he looks particularly cool. We'll come in here and we'll throw some Dark Angels iconography on him as well. There'll be the Deathwing red decals. Now the sword will have the broken portion in it, which is not period accurate for the Horus Heresy. That's what we're going to use because it's the closest thing I've got to a red Dark Angels icon for decals. And that's what I'm going for. With this guy, he's going to be pre-Heresy colors. So, Brother Bailey from the Facebook group, your Dreadnought that you donated to the Dark Angels first company cause, he's almost done. To wrap up this video blog, I do want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's been posted in the Facebook group this week. So Bob, if you guys are familiar from our battle report, he posted up some pretty cool minis here. And the first thing I'd like to talk about is he's been really practicing on working with his airbrush, right? And he was concerned with it. Actually, a lot of the times when we've gamed together, he's made comments about, my army's not gonna look as good as yours, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. If for any of you guys out there that have that type of thought go through your brain, your mind, through your warp-infested mind, scratch it. Get rid of that. There's always going to be someone that has a higher skill set or lower skill set. What matters is effort. Maximum effort. Thank you, Deadpool. If you're putting in the maximum effort for the detail level you want to get out, it doesn't matter if someone else is a Golden Demon winner and you're not. It doesn't matter. Have fun, paint your models well. Now, Bob, in Bob's particular case, I try and compliment him. I'm not sure if he thinks I'm placating or if he takes it seriously, but his models are looking pretty good, especially for someone who has minimal experience with the airbrush. So he's been working on a Stormcast Eternal from Shadespire, and he's been working on airbrushing the white, and I think for having a transition, that's not too bad. But the thing that's really worth noting on this guy is that, and he mentioned this on Facebook, he actually tried to airbrush the flesh on the face without masking. And I think he said he stopped because there was some overspray, right? Which you can see that on the right shoulder. That being said, the targeting of that airbrush for someone who's new to it, that's not too bad. Like, there's a little bit of overspray, but that's really not too bad. You didn't blow out the whole model of flesh, so, you know, you're practicing. That was good, Bob. I did message him and say, hey, a little bit of masking, a little bit of silly putty, and that overspray wouldn't have happened, and you would have been able to spray your face. But all in all, I think it's pretty good. He's got a transition from what looks like maybe gray to white, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna do these in slightly different order than what he posted because I want to end on a good one for him. He's got a picture of one of his Space Wolf Primaris bros, which I think looks pretty good. I'd be curious to know what he's going to do with his shoulder pads. What are those going to look like when it's done? What colors he's going to go with? Maybe he's going to do any decals. What kind of basing? So if you want to leave a comment, Bob, or send me a message, let me know. I'd like to know what you're going to do. So the last guy that I want to talk about that Bob worked on, and I saved him for last for a reason, was his Corn Reaver, maybe? I'm not sure. One of the guys from Shadespire, the corn box with the, actually I think they were from the starter box with the Stormcast. This fellow was airbrushed. Like, the flesh was airbrushed. It looks super good. Like, I sent him a message and I was like, Bob, that flesh looks good, man. And he has like a transition from like this almost tanny looking flesh to a light flesh. Like, right out of the airbrush, this looks real freaking good. And you know, he's talking about throwing a wash. I said I would really thin that wash down. I wouldn't want to lose this color. And then, you know, maybe wants to pop some highlights on after that. But for that being someone's early attempts at working with some airbrush, that flesh looks real good. So all joking that I give you aside, Bob, sometimes that flesh is looking real good, man. So good job, keep working on the airbrush. Kenny Wilkinson from Facebook posted some pictures of some Harlequins he's working on. And he mentioned he really would have preferred to go like Insane Clown Posse type thing with them, or Insane Clowns, something like that. But I really don't mind the paint scheme. The purple, black, and gray looks really nice together, and that's a much different take on the Harlequins. So I'm impartial, well, not partial, I'm biased because I really like the way that the legs are done with the diamond patterns on the standard ones, but I realize that's not practical for anyone. It takes forever to paint. It's hard to do well, and who has that time? I mean, you could spend, you could go all adjusted on it and be like, I spent 35 hours on this one Harlequin and then it died in the game. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So for the paint scheme he's gone with here, I think it's cool. It's gonna be fast, and he's gonna get these models to, I believe, his friend he's painting for, real quickly, get them on the table. So Kenny, thank you for sharing on the Facebook. I appreciate that. Those minis look good. We got a few photos from Chris Oakes where he shared a battle report that he was in. And he's got some guardsmen with his Imperial Fist, looking sweet. Can't get much more fluffy than that if, you know, the defenders of Terra are protecting Terran-born guardsmen, if that's what those are. Pretty cool, and he's fighting against Tyranids, but the first thing that popped in my mind was, they're unpainted Tyranids! No! Should get free rerolls. Preferred enemy, unpainted. But that being said, this looks super cool, and if you guys have any battle reports and miniatures that you would like to share, post them up. I'd like to see that too. I don't get to play games as much as I would like to, so being able to see what you're working on and what you're playing is pretty cool. So I do want to talk about one more person's miniatures real quick before we end, and that is from John Rhodes. If you have followed me before on Twitch or have seen me comment about someone named Sith, or a character in my army whose name is Sith, not spelled like the Star Wars Sith, but with a Y in there. That's John Rhodes. He's from the UK, super cool dude. Ask me about whiskey or whatever on Facebook sometime, folks. We'll talk about that. Maybe he'll actually post up a picture of Captain Whatever, and we'll get a story going. But that being said, he's been working on Master Calgar here in his Honor Guard, and I tell you, this guy, for the level of detail he gets and the speed at which he paints, like, ludicrous. Like, I look at it and I envy it. It's fast and it looks really good. And it's not like, you know, I threw a wash and it's done fast. It's like, it's got other layers of technique in it they look good. And for the time invested, it's silly. Like, I look at it, I'm like, dude, come on, man. You want to come out here and paint for me? You want to work on my models? But Calgar's looking good, and in particular, one of the things that stood out for me was the base. The basing he's done, presumably this is for Calgar. He's got a little Tyranid head down there. Looks like a Gaunt Gene Stealer. It's probably Gene Stealer, maybe. I don't know. Someone in the comments will correct me. But the base looks really, really sweet. So can't give you enough props, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Sith. So I hope that motivates you to share some more pictures with us about what you're working on. We would love to continue seeing them. I do want to show off this thing. This is the Mark I t-shirt for Death Ray Designs that Austin made for me. We're working on doing some custom in-house designs and shirts, and I had mentioned Austin I don't have any Death Ray Designs materials to wear during bat reps and filming, and he made the Mark I shirt. It's unique, it's one of a kind. The image is reversed when it shouldn't be because we're learning things, but I dig it. It looks super good, and like, I don't think anyone would even think that this was made inside of a shop, like, or excuse me, not made by an actual store. Like, this looks really good, so I dig it. If you guys think this looks cool, leave a comment below. Give the man some motivation, because we're trying to talk about different things we could do for us to wear and promote the brand on camera and in public, but also trying to come up with some ideas for some swag things we can do in-house that are unique to maybe give you guys some options to rep the Death Ray Designs if you would like to. So sound off in the comments below. Let us know what you think or what you'd like to see. We've also talked about doing some custom dice, which is obvious, maybe some dice bags, and getting some of the other gaming materials we've seen in battle reports up on the website as well. So again, let us know. With that being said, folks, I think we're going to wrap up today's video blog. I'd like to again thank everybody who shared miniatures that I was able to showcase on today's segment. Anyone else who wants to have their stuff showcased, be sure to blast the Facebook group, The Garrison, with your pictures. We would like to see those. It's a vicarious experience for a lot of people, and some people just need a little motivation. They see your miniatures, and then they go, you know what? I didn't feel like painting. Now I do. And then maybe one day, you know, if you aren't posting pictures, maybe you're in kind of a hobby funk, hobby lull, and you need some motivation, you'll see someone else's pictures that'll get you going. Hopefully next week I'll have some more progress done on the Dark Angels and a little bit more of an update on the Iron Warriors to give you and let you know what's going on. But until next week, I'll keep on painting. Hopefully you guys will get to see some battle reports in the near future and some updated Dark Angels. In the meantime, I hope you guys get your hobby on and have a good week. Hope you had a good holiday, and as always, happy wargaming.